North Korea and its leader Kim Jong-un slammed the new U.S.-South Korea agreement to intensify nuclear deterrence to counter the North's nuclear threat, saying it showed their extreme hostility and would push regional peace and security into more serious danger. The agreement, announced after a summit between U.S. President Joe Biden and South Korean President Yoon Suk-yeol in Washington, involves periodically docking U.S. nuclear-armed submarines in South Korea and bolstering training and consultations between the two allies. Kim Yo-jong, the powerful sister of Kim Jong-un, lashed out at Biden for his blunt warning that North Korean nuclear aggression would result in the end of its regime, calling him senile, miscalculating, and irresponsibly brave. She also insulted Yoon for his efforts to strengthen South Korea's defense and his trust in the U.S., saying he was putting his absolute trust in the U.S. despite getting only nominal promises in return. The North has been accelerating its weapons programs and conducting more missile and nuclear tests in recent months, raising fears of a possible attack on the U.S. or its allies. The allies have been seeking stronger reassurances from the U.S. that it would swiftly and decisively use its nuclear weapons if the South comes under a North Korean nuclear attack. The California Air Resources Board has unanimously approved the Advanced Clean Fleets rule, which requires all new commercial trucks to be electric by 2042. The mandate is estimated to deliver $26.5 billion in public health benefits in California in avoided health impacts and deaths due to diesel pollution. Heavy-duty trucks represent nearly one-third of the state's nitrogen oxide and more than one-quarter of its fine particle pollution from diesel fuel. The mandate would require companies that operate 50 or more trucks to convert their fleets into electric or hydrogen models and achieve zero emissions by 2042. 210 migrant bodies have been recovered by Tunisia's Coast Guard in under 2 weeks on the central coastline, amid an increase in migration to Europe. Most of the migrants were from sub-Saharan Africa and tried to reach the Italian coast, including the remote island of Lampedusa. They faced challenges such as overcrowded hospitals, lack of burial places, and hostile policies toward migrants. The Tunisian government and the European Union agreed to promote the voluntary return of sub-Saharan migrants to their countries of origin. Migration to Europe has been on an upward climb, reaching the highest level since 2016, driven by conflicts, poverty, and opportunities. Gender transition ban. Governor Greg Gianforte, Republican Montana, signed a bill that prohibits gender transition procedures for minors in Montana. The law will take effect on October 1st. State Representative Zoe Zephyr, who is transgender, was barred from speaking on the House floor for the rest of the session after accusing Republicans of having blood on their hands for supporting the ban. Nearly 100 protesters rallied in support of Zephyr at the State House on Monday, chanting "Let her speak." Police arrested 7 protesters for disrupting proceedings and charged them with criminal trespassing. With the ongoing conflict in Sudan between the country's 2 top generals, Abdel Fattah Burhan and Mohammed Hamdan Dagalo, the fighting has killed hundreds and sent thousands fleeing for their lives. The civilian death toll has jumped to 411 people, according to the Sudan Doctors Syndicate. The fighting has wounded 2,023 civilians, although the true toll is expected to be much higher. The Sudanese Health Ministry put the overall death toll, including fighters, at 528, with 4,500 wounded. Foreign countries continued to evacuate their citizens while hundreds of thousands of Sudanese fled across borders. Over 50,000 Sudanese refugees, mostly women and children, have crossed over to Chad, Egypt, South Sudan, and the Central African Republic. Ethnic fighting and turmoil has scarred South Sudan and the Central African Republic for years, while a 2021 coup has derailed Chad's own democratic transition. Kamala Harris, the vice president and Biden's running mate, faces more scrutiny and attacks from Republicans as Biden announces his re-election bid. Republicans view Harris, who has low approval ratings and has taken on difficult tasks such as border security and voting rights, as a campaign liability and a possible presidential successor. They mock her age, her ability to handle foreign leaders, and her effectiveness as a leader. Biden and Harris supporters defend Harris as a tireless fighter and a leading voice on issues such as abortion rights, healthcare, and democracy. They also present a united front and highlight Harris's achievements and popularity. Harris, who is the first Black woman and first Asian American vice president, has spoken to Democratic activists and young voters at Howard University, where she received chance of 4 more years. Biden commutes sentences of 31 nonviolent drug offenders. The commutations will take effect on June 30th and the recipients will be on supervised release. The recipients have shown a commitment to rehabilitation and many would have received lower sentences under current laws. The announcement is part of a broader plan to help incarcerated people re-enter society and access various services and opportunities. A fuel depot in the port city of Sevastopol in Crimea, a region occupied by Russia since 2014, was set ablaze on Saturday in what the Russian-installed local government called a suspected drone attack. The fire, which covered 1,000 meters, caused thick smoke and explosions and threatened the safety of the city. The attack was the latest in a series of violent incidents in Crimea, where Russia has faced criticism and sanctions for its annexation and aggression. In 2018, a bombing on a bridge linking Crimea with Russia, which was attended by Russian President Vladimir Putin, was blamed on Ukrainian intelligence operatives. Jeff Shell, the ousted CEO of NBC Universal, forfeited $43 million in 2022 pay after being fired for cause last Sunday. He was accused of inappropriate conduct and sexual harassment of an employee, which led to his termination. He did not receive any supplemental payments or benefits, only his unvested stock awards and vacation time. His compensation for 2021 included $2.5 million in base pay and a $7.5 million cash bonus. His pay package for 2022 was lower than the top 5 executives of Comcast, the parent company of NBC Universal, who earned $32 million, $40.5 million, $21.9 million, $15.2 million, and $11.9 million, respectively. Jock Dorsey, the former Twitter CEO and the founder of Square, has changed his stance on Elon Musk, the Tesla CEO and the Twitter CEO, respectively. He has criticized Musk's leadership of Twitter, saying that he has not been the right steward for the platform and that he should have walked away and paid the $1 billion to the board. This is a U-turn from his previous statement, where he had praised Musk as the singular solution he trusts to run Twitter and had even speculated that he might take over the reins of the microblogging platform. Dorsey now has a rival platform called Blue Sky, which is only available to a select group of users, where he had the exchange with a user named Jason Goldman. Musk has not reacted to Dorsey's critical comment, which is a little strange for someone who never holds back his opinion.
Thank you for watching. Please support our efforts by liking and sharing the videos. Don't forget to subscribe to get our regular updates.